All right, let's move on from hockey. We'll get back to more Blackhawks talk a little later in the show. Let's talk Cubs and Cardinals because it's on our air here tonight on Comcast Sportsnet. Holly and I will have the post-game show for you. Pitching matchup of Adam Wainwright and Jeff Samardzija. Last night, Cubs beaten by the Cardinals. Look, the one team in baseball that I dislike vehemently is the St. Louis Cardinals. They're a great organization, maybe the best organization in all of baseball. And I tweeted last night, they had first and second. I turned to my wife, I said, guarantee you they get a bunt down here. Perfect bunt, move them over, get them in. They do every single fundamental thing right. There's the bunt. Absolutely magnificent. They make every fundamental play, and that, I think, the Cubs, the White Sox, people should aspire to be like the Cardinals.
And they have the best minor league system, so it's not going away either.
No.
I think that they are the best franchise in baseball, and I think the reason for that is when you look at their draft history, as you just mentioned, and the fact that they consistently put a winning product on the field, and they're not spending Yankee money. I mean, they've made some tough decisions over time, right? I mean, Albert Pujols is a free agent, and a lot of people thought that that was stupid for them to let him go, and all of a sudden, he's in year 2 of a contract with the Angels, and the Angels are probably already regretting giving Albert Pujols that money. They were smart enough to know
Cardinals didn't want to resign him.
Investment, right? The Cardinals are, in my opinion, the model franchise in Major League Baseball, and I think it's the culture, too, that they create, because it's not always that they have the best players on the field. I mean, look at the guys that they have in there. Matt Carpenter, who happens to have an on-base percentage that's well over 400, has been one of the best leadoff men in the game, but who knew that Matt Carpenter was so good? Or
they did.
Cosma. Right, they did, but the point is that they're able to identify players that can win in their system and the way that they've built their team, and year after year, no matter who they plug in, those players flourish. So in my opinion, well, I'm saying the Cub way that we keep hearing about and this whole idea of what the Cubs are trying to build, the Cardinal way is the model for every team in baseball.
That's what the Cubs would like to be.
Well, and the Cardinals have done it through new GM. Jocketty moves on. La Russa moves on. So that tells you it's the organization, not just the one guy that's running the show.
Well, you know, looking at La Russa, he has said he was there for, what, 15, 16 years?
Yeah.
He was the guy that put that whole, this is how I want our guys to play when they get to the big leagues.
Maybe true.
And so they learn at every single level. That's what the Cubs are trying to do, but they're only a year and a half into Theo.
Right, and I think certainly it's a work in progress, and we don't know what's going to be the Cubs, you know, how the Cubs are going to manifest this entire system in 2 to 3 years. But Tony La Russa was a manager that commanded an incredible amount of respect, I think, from everybody in the organization from top to bottom. I don't know that Dale Swaim's a guy that can exude some kind of a cultural difference in the Cubs.
No, but
from
Theo
top to bottom.
might be able to.
Theo might be able to, but I think that it begins with Theo, yes, but on the major league level with the manager all the way down with the players. One of the things that I've been disappointed in this season, and listen, Starlin Castro's not having a good year, Anthony Rizzo's not having a good year. Am I concerned that those two guys are not good players?
Yeah, Rizzo not really in the lineup tonight.
Right, but I think we still see fundamentally poor play. We still see guys admiring home runs. We still see certain things that
Soriano's not going to be here.
Right.
Well, but we saw
a lot of guys aren't
going
to
be here. Castro, we saw do it last week.
Right,
when
Castro
he hit that
is
one
an
to the wall.
issue.
And I'm just saying, when you're trying to build a culture like the Cardinals have, we are now into year 2, and I'm not saying it's done. There's still a work in progress, but we're not seeing, I don't think, the cultural differences on the Major League team that you might have liked to see when they came in here.
All right, let's move on to the White Sox. White Sox got a win last night, avoided a sweep down in Houston.